Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to GDOCtalk. I have no idea what episode this is, but we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is GDOCtalk. It is in full force. And
From the grave. From the grave.
We have risen.
My name is Ryan A. Moore. Joining me on this wonderful journey going from the end of the couch to the other end of the couch.
Okay.
It's still screwed up, you guys, because you guys don't know. We're actually doing it. We're doing an audio version of the podcast for right now. We might eventually go back to video, but ladies and gentlemen, before we get into that, let's introduce our amazing panel of specialists.
Oh man,
Specialist.
What is your name, sir?
my name or my gamer tag or my etc.
Speak up. The microphone can't hear you.
Let it out.
I'm so quiet. My
it
name is.
What do you go by that people would know you as?
Steven.
Yeah.
I'm just Steve. That's me.
And where would we know you from?
You would know me from In Controll and GDOC.
Yeah. And then on the other end of the couch?
Kent.
Yeah.
Yep.
OG.
OG.
J. Kent Rudine.
Oh man.
Yeah, J. Kent on print. But
Yeah.
when you say it out loud, it's just Kent.
So, we're going to kind of go back to our original ways of doing... It's the same podcast that we did before. It's just in audio form now. We're eventually going to go to iTunes. I don't know if this one's going to go there right away, but this was awesome. We're back.
Yeah.
Kent, you're going to start us off with our first topic of returning.
No.
It's a doozy, too.
Yep. What is your topic, and why did you choose it?
Because it's well, I'll tell you my topic, and then it'll make sense on why I'm picking it.
Mm-hmm.
The topic basically is why is Star Wars successful? As in, what makes Star Wars actually be successful? And through all since it came out, back in '77, why has it been so popular through the times? Even now to new kids, even girls, boys, they all like it. Why is Star Wars successful? Compared to any other sci-fi film, no one has touched it.
Yeah. And, yeah, I guess when you think about it, you're like, how could 6 whole movies, and now 7, go into, you said 77? So that's, what, 70...
Well,
80,
I'm 70.
90.
I was born in 77, so it'd be 38.
38 years
Wow.
of a movie franchise that's getting a revamp to it, and a lot of people are excited about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know.
I mean, it's like, when I was even thinking, it's like, okay, for the original fans, that's what I'm going to call us, the ones that go all the way back, the original trilogies,
4, 5, 6.
yes, are our favorites. Some of us like the first, the prequels. Some of us don't.
Mm-hmm.
So even though we can actually, some of us, I think on the overall say that, yeah, some of those Lucasfilms kind of sucked, we still look over that and still love the series and the franchise, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something to be said for how it survived this long and been so groundbreaking with every new release. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, and this is probably what Disney had to do, when they, first off, that whole relationship between Lucas and Disney isn't new, because obviously Star Tours was at Disney for years before this whole situation happened. But yeah, it obviously sparked something into what, Disney looked at it as, this obviously appeals to kids. It's technically a PG rating, but it's a PG rating, not so much as of like Back to the Future.
Well, did you see the new movie's rating?
Is it PG-13?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Okay.
I think 3 was PG-13.
No, yes, PG.
Yeah,
yes,
but Clone
it
Wars was not.
I think Return of the Jedi is my favorite.
And that would be
I'm against the norm.
that would be episode
4, 5, 6.
6. That is
wow,
6.
okay.
That'd be 6.
Okay.
I'm against the norm. Most people actually, they're of the original fans. That's their least liked one for some reason. And I think it's because of the Ewoks.
I like the Ewoks.
Really?
I like the
what?
Ewoks. I thought, yes,
I mean,
they're ridiculously yes, they look like little, teddy bears.
Yeah.
And they're completely stupid. And how, they can fight stormtroopers.
Dude,
is
hashtag Wicked
ridiculous.
for president.
But dude, I don't know why I still love those dang Ewoks. And
I remember.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
yes, to the original fans, they really, really hate the 6th one.
Wow.
I think it's probably because it may have felt like it was trying to end itself really fast. Like, didn't you get that kind of towards the end?
There did feel like some loose ends that had not been tied up.
Like, when you think
the thing
about
is, that's
when
how
Vader...
it started, though. That's how it started, and we already knew that.
Yeah, but when you think about when Vader kills... Spoiler alert! When Vader kills the Emperor, it's kind of like... It kind of happens a little too fast, and you're kind of like, I don't... Okay, this is happening.
I guess I never thought that.
But, I mean, I've never thought of it either, but when you think about it in the perspective of why someone could not like it... Because I like all the Star Wars movies.
I think it's down to the Ewoks. I really do.
Because they're just so cute and cuddly?
I think that's why people hate it.
The world does not like cute and cuddly.
Man. Harsh
I don't
crowd,
know.
Man.
Well, I guess also it's because word got out that it was originally supposed to be actually Chewbacca's race.
But we got that in 3.
Oh.
It was supposed... Yes, because they threw... Yes, George Lucas threw that in... to kind of appease to the rest of those people who kind of wanted to see that world since that was supposed to be who they were.
So there might be a little bit of bitterness there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, that's what you kind of got from 1, 2, and 3, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, okay, so a report came out as of when we're recording this of George Lucas has seen the movie. He's seen Episode 7 of, he's seen The Force Awakens.
Did he? All right.
And he says that the fans will like it.
Oh, nice way to say it.
So, he did not say...
Well, I read an article, and he actually said this, that he doesn't like the way it's going, because George Lucas wanted to keep it as a family space opera, meaning he wanted it to be a space opera about the Skywalker family at all times.
And that's why we got the those awesome books of Shakespeare, Star Wars Shakespeare. Have you seen these books?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Oh, so... He wanted him, to be all about the family. So I think in Episode 7 by then, it's obviously not about the Skywalker family anymore. It's like the center core of it.
Yeah.
And that's what George Lucas is not happy about. That's the one thing he wanted to do. And they didn't want to go that way, so he stepped out and says, you know what? It's funny, the way he said it was, it's kind of like a divorce. You shouldn't ever call your ex back. Or you don't want to hear from your ex. So... That's kind of how I'm treating the Star Wars. And I'm stepping back from it, going, you know what, you guys do your thing. If I were to come in, I'd make you guys miserable. That's what he said.
Well, that takes a lot of guts to have that attitude about it, and But to be honest, though, it's interesting because regardless of where they go with the story, there's so much of a legacy there. There's so much imagination, so much content that can be. Played with conceptually that there's no telling where it's going to go, and people are going to have issues with it. People are going to nitpick, but all in all, there's so much to be said about that series and about the people who have worked on that series, present or not. And it'll be exciting to see where they go. But I'm just excited to see 7 at this point. That's what's on everybody's mind. I think is how is 7 going to be?
And we're also going to be getting. The rumor has it that there are Star Wars movies that are going to be coming out in between episodes. Right?
Yeah, they're calling them spin-offs.
Yeah, and so they've already listed up all the directors too, right?
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, well, there's a director for 8 and there's a director for 9 already.
All right,
and it's not JJ.
Oh boy.
Now, here's the thing.
Oh, man.
Because honestly, to tell you the truth, I was going to say this, that if Episode 7 had been made by anyone else, I'd probably would be different in attitude right now.
Yeah.
I'd probably be more of like, this is going to bomb.
Yeah.
But knowing that JJ's doing it, I'm a huge fan of that dude and everything he's done.
I've not seen a JJ Abrams film. Now, I know there are probably some out there. But the ones I've seen, for instance, Cloverfield, several episodes of Lost that he worked on.
He did the whole thing.
He did the whole thing? I thought he left at one point.
Well, it was his own brainchild, so.
Okay. I didn't watch all of the episodes. So the several episodes I've seen that JJ worked on, seen that. What else has he done? He did the Star Trek movies.
Yeah, he did the Star Trek movies. He did Super 8. Super 8?
That was a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is like Goonies with like mashed in with like, with
Cloverfield and all that kind of stuff.
Alien
Now,
movie.
you heard the whole thing about there was the rumor of that alien was like the Cloverfield baby monster.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah, that was the fan theory, and then J.J. Abrams came out and said that it is not. It is not connected.
They are kind of similar looking, though.
They look exactly the same. It's just they're not the same thing.
Dude.
Yeah. Watch those movies again. They're great. They're great.
And then he had a bunch of TV shows that were awesome, but then the network for some reason didn't agree.
It's usually how things work.
Yeah, which is what is that Almost Human one? Was it Almost Human? What was it called?
You're the TV guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Almost Human. That was great. And that was one with the set all in the future, and it had like.
This one happened just recently.
Yes, and it only went 1 year, and it canned it, and it was probably one of my favorite shows. And then also the one that he also did was Revolution that lasted 2 seasons, and then they canned it. That was another one of his little Bad Robot kind of movies.
Right. I love Bad Robot Productions, and they've done. Did they do a cartoon? Did they do something animated?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway. I thought there was I'm not saying that there is. I'm just I think there was something else that I saw recently that had something with it.
But getting back to the point though. Let's get back to the point.
Why Star Wars is? I think it's the characters that draw people into so much of loving. We so far have gotten characters like Kylo Ren, BB-8. BB-8, for all we know, is the bad guy of the film.
What?
We don't even know.
That's another joke.
There's the twist. There's the twist. But here's the thing. We already love these characters, and we don't even know who these people are. They were just said that these characters exist, but we are wanting to know.
I know
these character developments,
which is saying something about Star Wars.
Well, it was I just went down to California for Disneyland a couple months ago, and Tomorrowland is Star Wars out. Disney was like, "Hey, we spent $1 billion on this franchise. We're gonna do something." Exactly. So Star Tours has, I think, there's some remodels to that happen. There's 2 other things that just got remodeled for Star Wars, which I didn't see when I was down there. But
Star Tours was.
Yeah, but then there's 2 other things.
Oh, okay.
I think I saw a picture on Instagram about it.
Yeah, they redid Star Tours, and now it's C-3PO doing it.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago,
really
but this is now updated.
That's new
their
to me.
Stuff.
That's new to me too.
Yeah.
He should be just some generic robot.
Yeah.
Having him do it makes it actually sound funnier.
The cool thing is with the Star Tour stuff is you can go on the ride. I think they said you can go on the ride 6 different times and have 6 different experiences.
Wow.
Because you go to different worlds.
Yeah.
So the one I went on when I was riding with my friends was, I think we went to Tatooine, and then the other one I rode with my family went to Kashyyyk. So it's there's all these different things, but it's in the prequels. It's not during the other stuff.
Yeah.
The Star Trader is the shop that's after Star Tours. You exit Star Tours, you're into this place of shopping.
Yeah.
But then they have a whole bunch of. I bought a BB-8 beanie.
Oh, that's so cool.
Also a Star Wars belt.
Nice.
And there's just so much stuff. But it's what made me want to buy the BB-8 beanie? It's because Star Wars, I think, has those characters that you can just fall in love with so fast that you just want to continue on watching the show. You want to... Yeah, sure. Did we have the guy that was playing Anakin, which is Hayden something or other? Was he not the best choice? Maybe. A lot of people say that he was not very good, but,
I didn't think he was that great.
Yeah, the whiny... nasally thing.
But we still wanted to see what he was going to do with Anakin. We wanted to see how Anakin, the character, would progress into being Darth Vader.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even at the very end when Anakin was going to the dark side, all I could see was a guy having a tantrum. That's how that actor came across. Was like, you're having,
and he wasn't led very well, though.
No, I'm sure he wasn't.
That's kind of a director or situation. Now, I'm not saying George Lucas is a bad acting director, but what I'm saying is you, as the director, have to tell this person, hey, this is what I need you to do. Let's reshoot that scene because that was garbage. Yeah. He felt at some point that is what we want, that is the shot we want, and he took that shot and we moved on with it.
Exactly.
You know what's funny about George Lucas is that he actually, Star Wars became something he actually wasn't expecting.
Well, yeah, because he didn't even have the numbers for him.
He chose that. He chose
later on, though.
No, actually, that was his idea up front. I'm just going to throw people in the middle of a space opera, and we're just going to roll with it. Okay. And no one asked why.
Tarantino style. But...
yeah, it kind of was. And what was cool but the thing is about George Lucas is he's actually a guy who likes to do short art films. And so, yeah, he liked to do artsy short films. That's what he said. He's been saying that. It's like, I prefer doing short art films. This whole Star Wars thing totally blew out of proportions. And now it became what he's known for. Mm-hmm. And in a way, it makes you wonder, he's like, how much of this did he actually like?
Yeah, well, and that makes,
he might have been dragged
into
something
films, cause...
Well, yes. Yeah, he's done some of them. Well, have you ever seen Tay-Tex?
No, never.
That actually, to me, I actually really enjoyed it, but that had that kind of a feel where it was a very kind of a niche kind of sci-fi.
Yeah.
I've never seen American Graffiti, which is the one that put him down on the map.
Yep.
And then he also worked with Steven Spielberg on
here and there.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but that's later.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of blew out of proportion too. Definitely not as much.
Yeah, but
as
exactly.
Star Wars,
so
it was a different direction.
I do think it is. Whether or not it is George Lucas's idea, or my vote is what makes them a big deal is the characters. That's just to answer that
about
question.
Star Wars.
From my opinion, I think is just that character development that you can get from all those, from Anakin, from Obi-Wan to BB-8 to R2-D2 to C-3PO. These are robots, but we care about them.
So I'm wondering if this is my kind of theory on this. I'm wondering if it's the original fans, born with it, grew up with it. Man, we bled pretty much Star Wars. We had our Star Wars bed sheets, Star Wars curtains, Star Wars, pajamas, all the action figures, everything Star Wars. Okay, now they've been having kids. Okay, so their love for Star Wars, and then all of a sudden Star Wars decides to come out with more. Mm-hmm. So it's like, guess what? What are you gonna do? You're gonna have your kids love it. And I'm wondering if that's kind of part of why it's still a big deal, is because it's the fans' love for it has pushed it to the new generations.
Yeah.
And the new generations who are now being raised by them keeps it going. That's what I'm wondering. That's what I think. I think it's the fans.
Yeah.
You think it's characters? I think it's the fans.
I mean, to emphasize that part is I work at Target, so it's a thing where you have to think about, okay, so we have let me just pause it here. We're going to take a little bit of a break, but we're just going to jump cut right into a thing because Steven's going to head out. You want to say goodbye to the lovelies out there?
Absolutely. It was awesome talking to you guys about all this, and hopefully I can make a little more of a longer appearance next time.
Where can we find you? Just so we do.
You can find me on Facebook as Stephen Kerber. You can find me on Twitter.
I thought you were going to say your street address. Is what I thought.
That's my street address. No, you can find me you can find me on Twitter, OfficialKatNip, I believe, and then Instagram, Snapchat. All of those is all OfficialKatNip, and if it's not, then it's the reverse of that, Catnip Official. Okay. So
awesome. All right, we're going to pause it here for a second, and then Steven's going to head out, and we'll head back into this conversation. So, okay, we're back. So anyway.
Now we lost
completely
track of
you were saying the fan base is the reason why. Yeah. So I work at Target, and we had Force Friday, which was the Target, like, you get the toys, the new toys that were coming out, and blah, 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 and the whole situation. And we were open till, like, midnight or whatever.
A party out of it?
I guess. We were just open till midnight. That was what happened. But when that whole, like, advertisement for Force Friday was happening, Target released a really, really cool promotion video showing the kids from 1977.
Oh, yeah.
And then how they were reacting when they opened up the presents and saw all these things, and then they showed the 2015 kids opening up, and they just showed the generations of people opening up presents or playing with Star Wars toys as kids, from the 77 kids to the 2015 kids. And I was like, this is a really cool commercial. And then there's one scene in there where the dad is like playing with the lightsaber and his kid's watching him, and then he takes the lightsaber and he hands it to him. I'm like, this is all just a really good commercial. But
I haven't seen that. Never saw it.
Yeah, it was very hard to find. Like, you can't. It was an ad. So like, I was watching a YouTube video, and then all of a sudden this thing popped up, and I was like, I'll watch this. And then in that promotion, they showed the reaction videos of people watching the Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer, and everyone's getting like oh, and, like you get the goosebumps because you're watching these people react the same way you did. So, yeah, I think fan base and generations do really lock into a lot of those situations too. So,
and when they keep building, and then your reason's a good one though too, because it is characters, and they keep building on those characters, like keep making more and more of them.
Yes.
Now, if you take in all the Star Wars films and all the comic books and all this crazy stuff about it, and video games, there's a ton of characters out there now. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then the cartoons.
Yeah, and the Star Wars Rebels is doing a really well job. And so that was kind of like, and that was iffy, because like when Clone Wars was kind of shut off, and then now we have Rebels.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but great things from the people that liked Clone Wars and are watching Rebels. They say that it is a really good show. So
there's no closure to Clone Wars?
No, it just ends.
Oh, because I remember when I was watching it, I only watched like a couple seasons of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, it seems like they're getting absolutely nowhere. I want to see how this is going to resolve before the movies start. So they didn't have any closure. That's like,
I guess not. Now, the thing is a lot of people are having the difficult... For instance, my dad is having the difficult time of where Clone Wars was on Cartoon Network and Rebels is on Disney XD, which is a paid channel now. So you got to think about, did all the fans come over? So he has to catch it on the fly of like, because every once in a while Disney will show on Disney XD the redos of them all.
Yeah.
But I've heard they brought back characters. So like some of them are brought back. I was like, I'm not going to spoil it because apparently they are like, it is a big deal when these characters come back. So I'm not going to say them.
Probably. But what's her name? It starts with a name.
Yeah. But anyway, because when I was told who was in it, there are two characters that were like really big, and then and then my friend told me, because I'm not gonna watch them, but he's like, yeah, those are really big moments when they happen. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna do it. But yeah. So, but yeah, what makes the Star Wars franchise so iconic. Because then you can also talk about just the music. The music itself is...
Yeah, I forgot. I even forgot to mention it. I think the music was a big deal, too.
Well, yeah, everyone knows it.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as that... Dun, 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 like, when that Star Wars logo just boom right on the screen, you know something's happening right now.
Yeah, and that played well with the whole space opera starting right in the middle of the story, kind of idea, too. Where you're like, bam, you're right into it. Where it's like, whoa, what's going on? Why is this dude chasing this princess? What? And all that kind of stuff. But I actually think Star Wars wouldn't have been as big of a deal if it wasn't for the music.
Oh, yeah,
I think it was maybe that's why Star Wars is so big too. Because you got the theme music, there's a super iconic, and then just how they did Star Wars was kind of ahead of its time at the time when it came out. Even though everything was all puppetry and.
But that's what added, and that's the thing is when, because I love Labyrinth. Labyrinth's one of my favorite movies.
That's good.
Yes, sure, David Bowie, but we're not going to get into that part.
No, dude, David Bowie was
No. That's not it's the other thing that involves him, if you get what I'm catching. Those have seen Labyrinth will know what I'm talking about. There is a part as David Bowie's character that we don't need to really see. But, all
right.
But yeah, like, I enjoy movies like Labyrinth or the original Star Wars, where when you see or I guess it's part of the reason why I like also Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and it's kind of a British thing. Have you kind of realized that, where they kind of add real life, like same with Doctor Who.
About, like, Hitchhiker's Galaxy?
Well, I mean just in general of like the physical actual character, like the alien characters. Like, they're in those big, giant rubber suits. They'll actually go the extra mile to create these things.
Sort of kind of true, because, a lot of the people who actually who were involved with the puppetry were British in the Star Wars films.
Because when you look at shows like Doctor Who...
Jim Henson wasn't, and he was the guy who helmed all that. So it was his company that, did all the puppetry, and even, come on, you had Oz. Frank Oz doing the voice of Yoda. So it's like... And he was also then, how many voices did he do for Muppets? A ton. Mm-hmm. So it's like, And
then, because there was an interview a while ago with JJ about what was like his goal was to use as less CGI as he possibly can. If we can physically go to these locations, go and make Tatooine, if we can go and create this character, we're going to do it. Like, obviously, you got to do the space battles in CGI.
Yeah,
but the thing is like, if he said that if he doesn't have to do it, and he can make these, he'll go the extra mile to go make them. So that's why I'm really, really looking forward to The Force Awakens, because it's going to go back to kind of where 4, 5, and 6 were at. Because I felt like as soon as we saw Yoda as like the CGI orange ball and a stick thing, it's kind of defeats like where he was at in A New Hope, and it was kind of like,
I mean, but then you would have never had the epic,
Jedi
fight with Yoda at the very end of that one. It was like, what? Seeing him run up walls.
Yeah,
and it's like, wow, that guy's nuts. Mm-hmm. But again, I actually wasn't a fan of the non-puppet ones. I didn't like the CG version of Yoda. Mm. Although they did their best to try to fake it. I remember they even talked about how they had his ears even kind of like have that little wiggle. Oh, like his rubber ears did. Yeah. Whenever he moved, his ears they'd wiggle. They put that into the CG version.
Interesting.
They wanted to give it the puppet feel. Because they know that's kind of was a big deal to some people.
So I guess when you start thinking about it, it's like, there's a lot of things we can say why Star Wars is what it is.
Yeah.
And what makes that franchise so special. And I'm not saying that Star Wars is...
Oh, man.
You can make Star Wars as your favorite movie of all time. Now, is it my favorite movie of all time? You can't say... I wouldn't say Star Wars is my favorite movie of all time. Franchise-wise, I do love Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And, Star Wars is very, very high up. Because the thing is you can't really watch one of them and go, oh, this is a really, really good movie. I'm not going to watch the rest of them. Like, it's all really just one ginormous movie.
Yeah.
You're just seeing them all, throughout this whole timeline. And we don't even know, because now there's a book series that came out, and it's based on the same timeline, just with different characters. Has nothing to do with the ones that we've been seeing in the movies. And it's like other characters that are experiencing the same exact things that are happening in this universe, but they're just not with Luke and Leia. And I'm like, I never even thought about these other people. Like,
is that book or comic book? Do you know?
As soon as I said book, it's either book or comic book that just started. And if it's a comic, obviously it's made by Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of that, there's also an issue of the new comics that are that's the new Marvel comics that are coming out that has C-3PO. And everyone's wondering why C-3PO has a missing arm.
It has the red arm?
Yeah, they're going to tell you that in one of the issues. It's like a issue. Like, and if you read
before the movie?
Yes.
Oh.
And it will tell you why he has no arm there.
Are they not going to explain it in the
movie?
They
will not explain it.
Oh my gosh.
So you have to watch it in there, and then you have
Way to go to make us have to go buy something.
Exactly. It's only like $3.
If you get it on the day it comes out.
Probably.
Otherwise, you're stuck getting it on eBay.
These comics aren't like hard print though.
No, but they are collectors are going nuts on them.
Yeah.
So if you don't get them the day
the
of,
first
they're
issues,
probably gone.
Because the thing is like we're lucky enough that we have a comic book store. By the way, go support your local comic book store. They need awesome people there. You can meet totally awesome people over there.
Yeah, it's true.
But at Gabby's we have that huge luxury of never having to miss out on a comic book, because I've never gone in there and going, where's this comic? And
she'll even reserve it for you.
Yeah, exactly. So, I guess it's just the franchise itself that makes it awesome.
I mean, and it's funny is that I even have the Star Wars for me is even a big deal. That I would even go out and start collecting stuff when I was in college. Boy, that was when they started coming out with all the action figures again before the prequels were even announced. So all of a sudden the action figures are starting to come back out, and it's like, I was going nuts for them, dude. Oh man. And then even one of my favorite things, I gotta find it someday, I gotta pull it out, is they went and got Japanese manga artists and they redid the stories all done in manga style. It's
really?
Yes.
That is kind of cool.
It's really good. Exact same story, but told through, black and white, manga style writing, back to the, reading from the back page to the front page, and reading it that way. It's actually quite.
Now, were these Japanese stories, or were they written just in that format?
Written in that format.
Okay, all right.
But there is still they still hint a lot at the Japanese, like, how they did it backwards to forward, kind of, right, storytelling. And then, like, they throw in sometimes, an exclamation mark might be, like, in a Japanese exclamation, somewhere like a sound effect, in a comic book. Actually, quite hilarious. They had different artists do each one. I gotta pull those out, because those are really good, darn it. I remember I was going crazy collecting those at one point. But yeah, anyhow, yeah,
it's just where do you start? Now there are obviously reasons of why people probably don't like Star Wars, but there's so many reasons of why, even if you don't enjoy Star Wars, you have to respect the whole franchise as a whole. Of obviously it's $1 billion,
multi-billion.
Yeah, I mean with Disney buying it, and now they can go, beyond anything they want to do because they absolutely have the money for it. Obviously, they got one of the biggest directors in Hollywood to do this movie. Yeah. And, and the thing is J.J. Abrams was doing Star Trek, and, and they asked him straight up, and this was like a long time ago. I mean, I remember when the rumor of J.J. Abrams doing Star Wars was kind of like, oh, he's going to have control over both franchises. And then over the last year or so, he said he's not making Star Trek. He's focusing on Star Wars.
Okay.
And
I was curious about that.
And then I think the guy that's doing Star Trek now is going to be making episode 9. I think. I don't quote me on that one. I think someone related to J.J. Abrams probably in that aspect is doing 9. Stuff, yeah. And then I think some girl's doing... Some woman is doing...
Are we gonna see the Bad Robot?
Yeah, we're gonna see
before Star Wars.
Well, the trailer had Disney, LucasArts. Did it
show Bad Robot?
I think it showed Disney, LucasArts, and Bad Robot.
I'm curious if Bad Robot Productions is part of that or not.
I'm pretty sure they will because it's him directing it. Even if he's the only person doing it, it's probably gonna show it because that's his production company. Like if J.J. Abrams was working for what's Steven Spielberg's thing? I can't remember his name. But you know what I'm talking about. If he was working for, Steven Spielberg, he won't, that logo would not show up.
Dreamworks you're talking about?
No. Oh. The other one, the one that had the E.T. thing on it. I have a name lost on this one. It's a weird name. Anyway.
Oh, gosh. Now you're going to bug me on that one.
Exactly. Yeah, people in the somebody listening right now is going, I know it. Why did you... Anyway, my mom knows it.
It'll come.
My mom knows the production company. I have no idea why, but
it'll come to me. Now, here I'm going to change. It's still a Star Wars subject.
Yeah,
but I'm going to bring up a different question because this is actually one that my brother and I.
Do we want to save this for another episode?
I don't know. Do we?
I mean, how long do you want to go for it? Because we do it for half hour.
I don't know. Let me just throw it out there.
Okay, throw it out there.
So. My brother and I have this life bet going on.
Okay.
On this one thing about Star Wars that we talked about one time. He thinks, okay, this is the bet.
Okay.
Will they remake 4, 5, and 6? I say no, they won't touch them. They're timeless. He thinks someday, some year, they will remake them.
So remake.
As in... go back and remake them like they're doing with all the other films right now anyways. I mean, look at it.
Oh, so you're saying like a Judge Dredd type of situation.
Yeah, Judge Dredd, no, Total Recall.
I've got to say no. No. Because it's like...
I'd say no too.
Because it's like, okay, you got to look at it this way. Do you think they'd ever do like something like Back to the Future? And like redo Marty McFly's character all in all? I don't...
But that's, again, yeah.
But I don't think when a franchise like that has such iconic characters that, for instance, like you can't replace Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. I cannot see anyone else playing him at all. You can't replace Harrison Ford as Han Solo. There's no way. And you'd screw up the whole timeline because then you have to go back and do 7 all over again.
Yeah, because they're in 7, hopefully that cements the deal that they won't.
Yeah.
Because that's a life bet he and I have going till the day we die. You know, that...
I do not think they would touch those.
In fact, another bet we had that I lost was that they would actually make more films. I thought they wouldn't. I said George Lucas would never do it.
He did say for a while, though.
He never did do it.
He said for a while, though, that he was going to make 7, 8, and 9. He also said we were going to get a Boba Fett spin-off TV series, and that's never happened, though. Netflix, you hearing this? Do it. You guys have those rights with Disney. Go and do this. But
oh, yeah, then that brings up the next question. Oh, is Boba Fett still alive?
Oh, well, I don't know. I think he's dead. Like, he is totally dead as a doornail.
I know, but there are people out there who fully believe that they're going to see Boba Fett in episode 7. They're expecting to.
I think this, who's the Stormtrooper lady?
What do you mean, lady?
Yeah, she's a girl. The silver one.
Oh, that's a girl?
Yes.
I don't know.
You didn't know that?
No, I don't think it's a girl.
Yes, it is. It's 100%.
Because I thought that was the one that
I just read
done by Andy Serkis.
No. The girl, the silver, wears a cape, that's a woman.
You're talking about the metallic clone trooper?
Yes.
That's a girl?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Wow. I thought that was going to be Andy Serkis.
Originally it was supposed, they were talking about it being a guy, but it's now a girl. I think she's going to be the next Boba Fett. And we're actually going to get a lot of like character development with her. Like everyone's going to like her. She's going to have kind of the same attitude as Boba. That's what I'm thinking.
He's a bad guy, but you still like him.
Yeah. Course, I mean, Boba Fett never says anything in the movies. I think
that's one of the reasons why he was liked.
Because he was just that silent,
mysterious bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And so if he would have talked, I think it would have ruined his...
I mean, he did say some words. He had some lines, but he didn't have... He didn't have like anything of character development as any of the other characters. Jabba the Hutt had way more lines than Boba Fett did in his whole line of life. So it's like... and we only got one movie of him.
And they almost ruined, honestly, I think they almost ruined Boba Fett's mysteriousness when they came out with the whole Jango Fett clone thing. And I was like, really?
It's a midichlorian, right?
Well, no, midichlorian is the Force.
Is the Force. And then
Jango Fett's son becomes Boba Fett.
Yeah, because Boba is Jango's son.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And so at first I was like, oh, facepalm. Why did you guys have to go back and give some history to Boba Fett? Because his mysteriousness, I thought was kind of cool about him.
People wanted to know, though. Like, in all honesty, you kind of wanted to know. But I see what you're saying. Like, you kind of do want to, like, come up with your own backstory.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know. Whew. Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we could keep talking about Star Wars and never...
I think after we see the movie, we'll definitely do a spoiler cast for it. But
yeah, when we get, that's gonna have to probably be we need to give people many months to have a chance to see it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
You know what? I got another one for you. Are you ever surprised when you meet someone who's never seen them?
So because of 7 coming out, well, actually, it's not even called 7. It's just called The Force Awakens.
Yeah, but we all know it's 7.
Thing. Yeah. You know, you kind of start seeing these people coming out of the woodwork of like, I've never seen them, and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, because it's like, it is kind of its own thing, and if those, like you were saying, the parents passing it down and kind of thing, if their parents weren't in that line of fandom, I don't see where you would try to introduce them to that, or why you would. I think if you had a nerd as a parent, I think that's what brought you into
unless
Star
they're
Wars.
a Trekker.
Yeah.
Not Trekkie, Trekker. That's how they call themselves. Yeah, then of course you're not going to introduce Star Wars. But actually, if it's a teen, if I think if it's a teen and they say they've never seen them, I'm like, That makes sense.
Yeah.
But if I meet someone who's like in their older 20s, 30s, or even more, I am actually genuinely shocked. I'm like, never seen him.
Not one.
Not even one.
Yeah. I would say that. If you're in your 20s or you're in like high school or middle school,
I think they went out of the way to not watch him. Would be my guess.
Yeah.
where people are almost like, yeah, I've never seen them. Oh,
I'm still on the.
Okay,
I'm
weird.
still react to people when they don't see Back to the Future. So that's so whenever that happens, and there's only 3 of those movies.
Yeah.
And you only need to watch one of them. But anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're good on that. That was a good one.
Yeah, I kind of just threw out all my questions there at the end.
We'll do it's Star Wars podcast.
I can't think of. I'm trying to think at least any more questions for Star Wars, and I think we hit up all the ones that are always at the top of my head.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. If you stayed through the whole entire episode, thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yes. We cannot wait for Star Wars. I hope you guys are also as excited as we are.
Go see it in Cinerama in Seattle.
If you can get tickets.
Yeah. It's sold out past New Year's, so if you haven't bought them yet, don't even try unless you want to buy it at the end of January. But it will be the place to see it. I can guarantee you. Technology there is top notch.
And that's the
laser projection, and that's the using the Dolby Digital Atmos, which means they're adding speakers to the ceiling. Mm-hmm. So it gives you a lot more of a feel towards it. And I went out. I remember when. Yeah, shoot. Here we almost ended it, and here we go. When they went and re-released 4, 5, and 6. This is before the prequels.
Yep.
When they re-released them, I was going to college at the time. I would drive 100 miles easily to make sure I went and saw those films.
And you went to Northwest Nazarene University.
Yes, I was in Nampa, Idaho.
Yes.
I would easily drive anywhere to go see those films in THX certification because I knew that.
And now it's not THX anymore. We don't. Why would you listen to that?
It still is.
Well, you want the IMAX sound now.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not dead.
Oh yeah, but it's got replaced as the norm.
I can guarantee you, if you go to Cinerama, you're going to see the THX logo.
Really?
I bet you will. Because they're bringing all that in. They probably will show it. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
Star Wars likes to use that, so...
Yeah, and anyways, oh man. And when I saw those in THX back then, blew my freaking mind. It made me love sound more than almost as much as watching the film itself. I became a sound snob. And THX was the only way I'd watch a film back in the days, in the 90s, before, for some reason, THX never caught on. I never understood why. I think it's probably because they charged the movie theaters royalties for that. And the movie theaters didn't want to have anything to do with that. Which is a bummer because, dude, when I watched those movies, people were like, why? What can make THX better? I was like, if you close your eyes and listened, and you could tell when they were in a small room, you could tell the material on the walls was plastic or not. That's what made THX so great. Or when they're in that one spot in episode 3, when they're swinging, from one place to the other, they're going across, and he shoots his.
Or in episode 4.
Yes, yeah, I lose. Yeah, 4. Mm-hmm. So they're shooting the thing, right, and they go across, and they swing across.
Luke and Leia.
Yeah, and they're talking.
Yeah.
You could hear the echo going down and then getting lost. It's like, dude. So that's one of the reasons why I'm like, I so badly want to go see, in Cinerama, and that's my pull for Cinerama in Seattle. Go watch it there if you can, because I can guarantee you will not regret it, and you'll be blown away. Yeah, that was my dog. You'll be blown away. I can guarantee you. But hey, it's way up there, and hard to get to a place. So
yeah. But anyway, I think that's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm done. I'll shut up.
No, it's fine. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe to us. Hopefully on iTunes. We'll get this going on iTunes. We'll get a SoundCloud. We're also on there, probably. I don't know what our username would be yet, so we'll do it. By then, you'll know. But if you want to go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube, we're at GDOCunited. Also, Facebook.com. And on Twitter, at GDOCunited. But we also have an Instagram now. So we're also there at GDOCunited. Pretty much wrapping that all up. We got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, all GDOCunited. Go subscribe, go like, and so you will get all of the updates on when we do episodes like GDOCtalk, where we're bringing it back, and also In Controll, and hopefully more people as we go on. But that's going to wrap up episode, and we'll see. Star Wars edition, and where can we find you at? You're on Twitter.
I am. I think it's J.K. Rudine for Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube and Facebook and everything. I think I am just J.K. Rudine, I think is what I am, which is Rudeen.
Okay, so on the internet,
I never had to bring that up.
Rudine.
It's kind of weird because I'm the kind of guy that I don't care.
Okay.
You can follow me or not. I don't care.
They care.
That's my personality on that.
And then I'm on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, what is it? Google Plus at Ryan A. E. Moore. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.